Hello, Steve White, Trek Boy 89, Steve Arts 89. There was another little story that happened, and I wasn't really making many videos during the main lockdown for coronavirus because I kind of lost my voice during that period. I was kind of sick, and I just had a lot of trouble literally speaking. I wasn't really talking to anyone on the phone or anything. But now I'm feeling better and I just feel like talking about stuff. And there's been a bunch of stuff happen. And something that happened a few days ago, which did annoy me at the time, and thought I should do a video and then I didn't, but I am now because I just want to talk about. The more I think about stuff, the more I want to talk about it. Basically, this guy, he's a member of the Star Wars story group. What was his name? Matt Martin. Now, this genius, this wonderful person, this creative, wonderful person in the Star Wars story group came out and said, he was talking about Star Wars. It's two notable sort of quotes. I think these were on Instagram. Said, "What is and isn't canon informs how future stories," was talking about canon obviously, "may be told, but it doesn't need to dictate how individual fans enjoy their own personal Star Wars story." So, an example, earlier the person was asking about recanonizing a past story since that specific story hasn't been explored in the new canon. New canon? And sorry, I thought it was all canon. And I said, if they like that story, there's no reason they can't accept it as real in that version of Star Wars, in their version of Star Wars. But if there was an opportunity to tell that story now, that new creator would not be beholden to that old version of the story. So to summarize, there is a reason that we need to internally know what is and isn't canon so we can keep our line of official storytelling as aligned as possible. But that doesn't mean fans can't individually pick and choose what they want to accept as true. It's all fake anyway. So you can choose to accept whatever you want as part of the story. Ah, Jesus. No. No. Canon exists for a reason. Canon matters. You can't just pick and choose what you believe is canon and what you believe isn't. I think people call that beta canon or head canon. Beta canon, I think, is secondary books, comics, stuff like that work around the existing canon. But then, if something does happen on the main canon, the TV, the TV show, the movies, that contradicts that because it's sort of never you sort of know when you're reading comics and that it's not really secure in canon because it is secondary, but that's because it's a different format. If you're talking TV movies, that is canon, that doesn't change. If someone is 6 foot tall and black in the canon, then if you're going to use them in a TV series also or a future movie, they have to be 6 foot black, 6 foot and black. That's just how it works. You can't say now they're a 3 foot white lady or something. Just I mean, that's a stupid example, but you know what I mean. You just can't change stuff. And the reason, not the great thing about Star Trek, the original Star Trek, the real Star Trek, was they had 18 years of consistent canon universe where basically a year in real time was a year in that universe. And this extended from the original series, which did that as well. Now they had to play around a little bit to make it work. There was 10 years between the end of the Star Trek series and the movies. So by the second film, they had to say, well, we did a second 5-year mission and we had a couple of years of the Enterprise being used as a training vessel, and then we had a couple of years of the Enterprise being refitted, and that filled that 10 years gap, basically. And then, I mean, the original series started filming in 1964 and finished in 69, so it filmed over 5 years. It was a 3-year series, but they had two pilots and so forth, so they only ran 3 years. But even those 3 seasons, I mean, ran over 4 years anyway. So it basically was 5 years, but it still ended pretty much 69, 70. So the new series was 79, the new movie was 79. So they had to fill, there was going to be a series in between there, but there wasn't. So they had to do this second 5 year. They had to make this work. So there are things like that you do in canon to make things work. And Star Trek did that. It did that really well. And you need to do that because you need to have, for it to work, for people to be able to invest in it, you need to have a consistent universe that people can believe in. And just to say, oh, it's all made up anyway. Like, we are so stupid we didn't know. Oh, it's made up. Luke Skywalker. That part was written. That's an actor. What the? We know that, but we invest in it. We believe in it in our fantasy life. We believe in that. To escape from the real world. That's what a lot of science fiction is for a lot of people. Or science fiction is for a lot of people. It's escapism. It is a universe to go to, like Star Trek, Star Wars, Doctor Who, where you can believe in it, invest in it, immerse yourself in it, and escape from reality, whether to entertain yourself or because your reality is just so bad you don't want to live in it. And a lot of people have had that with Star Trek. And with science fiction, they've had that salvation. And that's why a lot of people put science fiction, they talk about it sort of in religious terms because it's something they believed in, it's something that meant something to them. And whether you don't literally believe in it, you do know that these are fictional characters and it's not real. It's not like you're just getting a documentary sent from the future or sent from another another galaxy or something far, far away. You know it's not real, but you invest in it. Kind of like how people invest in religion. I think on some level they know it's all made up, but they need something to believe in so they can get through the day, because life is just not that easy sometimes. So for someone to say this, to come and basically say two things. One, you can just believe in whatever you want, make up whatever you want, and you can just pick and choose, like choose your own adventure. No, it doesn't work like that, because you can't believe and invest in one story if there's another story running alongside it that contradicts it. Unless you're stupid or blind or can just switch off and go into denial and pretend something doesn't exist, which, some people can, I guess, because that's how you explain half the problems in the world, I guess. But it just doesn't work. You can't do that. For a science fiction series, any series, a genre particularly, but where there's more suspension of disbelief due to the fantasy elements and the futuristic elements, you have to create a realistic, consistent universe. That's the only way it works. And this is all just an excuse for bad writing, bad organisation, ignorance, people who come on who aren't science fiction writers, who don't know the genre, don't know the fan base, don't know anything, but just want this title, want this paycheck, want to do this or change it to make it something they like, because, I don't know, there's this whole era of sort of Hollywood and media and writers or whatever. This is these people who just want to come in and take things that already exist and then make it theirs, so it's how they want it, so that how they like it, and take it away from someone else. And I'm not really sure what someone needs to study this psychologically. It's interesting because it's happening in a lot of realms. But yeah, I'm getting off topic. But basically, no, canon matters. It has to be consistent. It has to work. There's flexibility, and it's not so damn difficult. Okay, so you establish what a character looks like. Well, that character can do almost anything as long as they are the same character. They can change their moods, they can change their thoughts, they can change their future. There's a lot you can do. It's this idea that canon is some sort of straitjacket that stops creativity or stops people from writing good stories or writing new stories is ridiculous. You just need to be informed and clever enough to write around what's already established and build on that without destroying it. And unfortunately, some of these people just don't have that ability, or don't even want to do it, or deliberately want to destroy it for some reason or agenda, which is frustrating or baffling. But yeah, I saw the story, I saw the comments, and it pissed me off. I already did a few videos on canon, because it does matter, and it's something that I'm just glad I grew up with. Consistent Star Trek canon. I had all the books, I had all the manuals and guides, and they all worked around or worked directly with the canon, and you could believe in that universe, and it was beautiful. And you can still go back to that universe and escape to that universe and forget about the modern or alternate universe of Star Trek. You can do that, but it means you're stuck in the past and you've got no new material really coming. And that's not fair that there's this new Star Trek made for new Star Trek fans who don't love Star Trek, don't respect it, don't know it, don't care about it, don't rewatch it, don't support it with merchandise, and they get new shows, and us loyal fans who've been around for all these years get kicked in the face and told that we are racist and homophobic because we don't like their show, which has nothing to do with race or sex. I'm not racist, I'm not sexist. I have no problem with women, I have no problem with race. I prefer any race to white people, usually, to my own kind, frankly. So I'm certainly not sitting there saying, no, this show's bad because there's a black person in it. No, I'm watching it because the black guy's in it and he's hot. So, and oh no, you don't want gay people, you're homophobic. I am gay, idiot. So I've been called an incel. I'm a gay man who, until coronavirus, was getting plenty of sex. I was not one of these straight guys living in a basement who didn't know how to talk to women and was just bitter and twisted and writing, hate porn at Kathleen Kennedy because how dare a woman be in a position of power. People don't like Kathleen Kennedy because what she's done creatively, what she's done to a certain franchise, not because she's a female. If a man had the same job and done exactly what she did, they'd hate him just as much. So, again, I'm off topic again. I keep thinking I'll do a 2 or 3 minute video. I just want to comment on this, and then the next thing I know, I'm like, God, it's 11 minutes. I got to stop talking. Sorry. Feel free to share, like, comment, subscribe. Tell me what you think. Comments are fun. I like comments. I got so many comments when I got a lot of Madonna videos. I got a lot of views, but my Star Trek ones don't get as many views. I don't get as many comments. It's not as much fun. But I still want to talk about it, so feel free to share. Thanks, bye.